Working together, we got to get something through the House. What is the biggest stumbling block right now to getting that through?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. We've got a diverse conference. We've got everybody from the libertarian wing to the neocons and the paleo conservatives, and these are the different groups that Speaker Johnson has to coalesce to put forward a unified agenda. It's probably the toughest job in all of politics. I think he's doing a phenomenal job here. We've got some details that we've got to work out. There are some disagreements perhaps on the extent of what our spending cuts are going to look like, perhaps where they're going to be. I feel really good about us being able to get this passed, though. Every single Republican in the House ran on the Trump agenda, securing the border, extending the Trump tax cuts, fighting back against a woke and weaponized federal government, plussing up our military after 4 years of Joe Biden destroying it. This bill right now, this reconciliation package, is what unlocks all of that for House Republicans. So I think that we're in a good position. Again, we've got some details we've got to iron out, but we're going to get there.
Yeah, so according to Axios, Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett, Indiana Congresswoman Victoria Sparks already plan on voting against the plan. Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis says she knows of 6 to 10 Republicans who may be holding out. It seems like a lot of work to get done in the next day or two, or is this more of this is the blueprint, we'll get to the details down the road with the Senate?
Well, that's exactly right. This is just the first step. This is what provides instructions to all of the committees of jurisdiction onto what precisely they need to do. So this is really what simply unlocks the whole process. Again, we've got some details we've got to iron out, but we've got plenty of time to do that. Today is just step one.
So this week you were named, I want to switch gears a little bit, to the House Oversight Task Force on the declassification of federal secrets, which sounds like a really cool job, by the way. Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, teased last week the Epstein files were sitting on her desk waiting to be reviewed and released. But do you have any idea when we may start to see things come out of this entire process?
Well, we're pushing as hard as we can. You know, Republicans have been talking for years about releasing the Epstein files, declassifying the JFK and the MLK files. This is what the Republican Party wants. Now, the task force that I'm on does not have the authority to declassify materials. That's going to have to come from Pam Bondi and the executive branch. So we have been pushing them hard to declassify these as quickly as possible, because transparency is what we've got to bring back to Washington. The American people have been sick of an opaque process of knowing that there are secrets that are being held in D.C. for no clear reason, and they would like to see this information released. Who is on the Epstein list? Why don't we know who's on there? Why hasn't this been released already? The JFK files, for instance, that was decades and decades ago. The American people deserve to know the truth of what happened with the JFK assassination and the MLK assassination. So we are pushing as hard as we can, and I urge the executive branch and Pam Bondi and our colleagues on the other side of the government to release these files quickly so that the American people can see them, and then we can begin our investigations. But again, that has to come from Pam Bondi and the executive.
Now, there's a lot of work going on right now. You're going to have a very few busy days here coming up, Congressman. Brandon Gill, thanks for joining us this morning.
Information